Delegates, it's now time for the report of the Secretary-Treasurer. It's been an eventful 2 years in the life of our organization. We moved into new quarters. We were waging campaigns on multiple issues, engaging new groups of workers while we deepened our connections to the ones that we already have. We were fighting one election campaign while preparing for another and making ends meet while some hefty inflation was driving up all the costs. Fortunately, we had Hermender Singh Kailley at the helm, and it's been a pleasure working with him. And thanks to his great stewardship and an amazing last 2 years of the BC Federation of Labor, we are in pretty good shape. I'm going to welcome my friend, Secretary-Treasurer Hermender Singh Kailley, to deliver his report.
Everybody have their water and coffee, because this is going to be a barn burner. All right, I want to start by thanking Suzanne and also to you, the delegates, with a heartfelt thank you for the trust that the convention placed in me 2 years ago as your Secretary-Treasurer. These have been two of the most deeply satisfying years of my life, getting the close-up, in-person view of how much the BC Federation of Labor does to keep our movement strong and to help it grow stronger. It's been simply amazing. And helping to lead that work has been a tremendous privilege. Over the past 2 years, we've led major campaigns on gig work and a vision for public transit, getting both of them high, both on the public agenda and on government's radar. We've supported research and convened conversations on everything from sectoral bargaining to migrant care workers. We've restarted in-person regional conferences. We've coordinated solidarity for strikes, lockouts, and rallies. We've relaunched and re-envisioned the Organizing Institute. We've run a major pre-election campaign and helped to mobilize the volunteer effort across British Columbia. We've brought workers' voices into critical government consultations on the Labor Code, accessibility standards, anti-racism legislation, health and safety, workers' compensation, and so much more. And honestly, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And we've done this while we've been settling into our new offices. Speaking of which, we've planned those offices from the ground up to be connected to the whole province, baking in hybrid meetings, because distance from Greater Vancouver shouldn't mean distance from the BCFED. At the same time, we've designed them to be just as welcoming in person, because we love to see your smiling faces in our beautiful new offices. Embracing hybrid has been an amazing change because it is now so much easier to communicate and collaborate. We're seeing that in everything from strike coordination to holding meetings with cabinet ministers to planning campaigns and sharing information. All of this is crucial because every sign points to both the opportunities that we're going to want to seize over the coming years, as well as serious challenges on the horizon. A large and growing number of workers are in jobs that are structured in a way that separates and isolates them. It's going to take new approaches and new resources to reach them, along with, we hope, legislative change. More and more new workers are in non-union workplaces. Many of them are barely aware of what unions do, let alone that a union could be an option for them. And the far right is targeting our members with fake rat unions, but also ideologically, trying to divide us by pitting us against one another. The economy is changing so quickly that many jobs will be unrecognizable in a decade. And of course, there's just the nuts and bolts reality that costs keep going up. The problem for your federation is that revenue hasn't gone up in a very long time. And most of you know our funding comes entirely from something called the per capita. Affiliates contribute a certain amount to the BCFED's budget based on the size of their membership. In 2014, convention raised that amount to 82 cents per member. And today, we are still at 82 cents per member, a whole decade later. Our revenue has been flat for 10 years, and our costs have not. And it's getting harder and harder to square those two facts. In a convention year, our costs come close to $4.7 million. Convention alone this year will cost us $633,000. That's after counting delegate fees. So, how do we respond to these challenges? How do we respond to attack on workers? How do we respond to corporations that are lining up at the trough to gain obscene amounts of profit off the backs of workers? How do we respond to governments that are constantly eroding workers' fundamental rights to fair and free collective bargaining? We've had enough of a sample size to know this: neoliberalism doesn't work. Trickle-down economics doesn't work. And austerity measures and budgets, they just don't work. So how do we respond? Well, the big meta answer is we turn to our strengths and learn what we know works. Things like the Organizing Institute and labor education. We invest in training and equipping organizers and activists with the tools that they need to grow our movement and our membership. We draw on the knowledge and the expertise of our affiliate unions and our allies. The BCFED is going to have to convene more conversations on crucial issues such as AI and automation, climate justice and jobs, and sectoral bargaining, so that we can develop strong, united positions that work for our members and for our movement. And to do all of this, we need to make sure that the BCFED has the collective resources to do it and do it right, and do it well, so that we can make the most of the moment that we're in currently. A few months ago, our Executive Council took a hard look at these resources, at our finances, and our future, and they set some priorities. That's why we will be debating a motion shortly to address the long-term finances of the Federation with an increase to the per capita. Now, we know that affiliates face their own challenges, and we've held off as long as we could on this request. And we've kept it modest, well below the past decade's inflation rate. The new per capita will land us in the middle of the pack among provincial labor federations, despite BC's higher cost of living. But this decision, my friends, this is not my decision. This is a decision that we're going to make together, because we are the labor movement, and this is how we roll. Delegates, we've had a remarkable string of victories for our members over the past 7 years. We have the opportunity now to win more and to meet some of the most serious challenges the labor movement has faced in a very long time. With your support, we can maintain a solid financial position for the BCFED and build from that foundation to do what we do best, which is uniting us around the issues that matter the most for working people. Finally, I want to say that we need to support each other. We need to come together. We need to stop what the 1% tries to do to us, which is to silo us off into small groups and divide us, and divide and conquer. Friends, when we fight, we win. 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 Solidarity forever.